Dope.
Good afternoon, Carole. It's still snowing outside and I ain't got nothing to do but fuck with you. We're getting floods and floods of emails and more information about you and everything else, so we decided to do Saga 4, Part 1. Now, excuse the glasses, I'm going blind looking at your ugly ass. But the email we received, I personally asked, are you scared of Carole? And it comes back as, and yes, I mean we fear for our safety. And would you not be concerned about a woman who has 2 out of 3 husbands on the missing persons list? Not only her, but I've been threatened by the psycho people that work for her and even had to call the police to get my horse out of there. And that's while my lion was still there. Carole is a multi-personality evil bitch and is capable of anything. I'm just as happy to stay as far away from her as possible. Just look at her birthday. It confirms that she's the #1 incarnate of the devil on earth. Carole Baskin, your birthday is really 6/6/61. My God, girl, now we know what's wrong with you. Okay, but as the emails continue, actually the biggest problem that you will have is most of us who dealt with Carole are truly too afraid of her to do much against her. Sad but true. You may want to think about finding someone. He's up in Citrus Park area. We'll be checking out and trying to locate that gentleman to see if we can dig up any more dirt. The next email says, sorry, but I have too much to lose. Not only everything I've worked for, but odds are I would end up dead. I agree the woman has to be stopped, but she is a dangerous woman. I prefer to pass this information along to anyone that has the will to fight it. If I were subpoenaed to testify, I would have to tell the truth, but it would be under duress and under those conditions. Sorry. Well, Carole, let me start out by telling you that I'm not scared of you, okay? I'm not under duress, and we will bring your house down. Now, let's take this to another level. Been doing a little more research on you than you have on me. I spent a little bit of time on your computer website that you built just particularly for me, okay? First of all, I was a police chief. Second of all, you're too stupid because you're looking in the wrong city. Okay, so on with the life on Easy Street, okay? Now, as much bashing as you have done against me on the internet, public television, radio, whatever, I even am in your email newsletters, girl. Okay, I get your newsletter, and I am so proud that you waste so much time on me. But anyway, like I said, it's snowing outside. I can't do anything else anyway, so here I am, fucking with you. All right, well, amongst everything that I've ever done, that I have never been ashamed of, I've admitted everything, I've never had to change the name of my facility. But now we know why you have, okay? Here's a little bit of your past. Digging into the St. Petersburg Times. An international wildlife group has found many Florida zoos and animal attractions lacking of safety. 2 Tampa area attractions that earned poor remarks. One was a chimp farm. The other one was Wildlife on Easy Street at Citrus Park. And I do believe that's where Big Cat Rescue still resides. Trent called the Wildlife on Easy Street a little more of an elaborate showroom for owners trying to sell bobcats and cougar kittens. It smells like exploitation the moment you walk in, he said. Okay, Carole. Exploitation of breeding animals, okay? On with the St. Petersburg Times. The wildlife sanctuary where volunteer work was mauled, okay, Carole, you love that word, mauled, okay? At your facility, mauled. Okay, a 46-year-old Odessa, Texas woman was mauled at your park by a black leopard. 451 stitches to save her arm from her elbow to her wrist, okay? Now, how come that isn't in your statistics that you spread all around the country? All right, and then add to that, how come you don't include the statistics of your cougars that escaped from your park and were confiscated, along with the leopards that were confiscated by the Fish and Wildlife Service? And the best of yet, okay, Wildlife on Easy Street has been under investigation by the U.S. Department of Agriculture for improper care and handling of its animals, and has been for years. Failing to provide veterinary care to animals in need, unsanitary water receptacles, unsafe storage of food, shoddy records, shabby housing for the animals, and trashy grounds. And this is according to the USDA investigator in the Florida area. The administrative complaint against the Lewis's filed in March could result in a suspension or revocation of their license to run a sanctuary. They could face daily fines of $2,500 for each count and be disqualified from being issued a license. Jim Rogers, the spokesperson for the United States Department of Agriculture in Washington, confirmed that the agency is conducting another investigation that could result in a second round of charges against Wildlife on Easy Street. Sorry, telephone. It's another call coming in, Carole, with people more information about you. Okay, now let's get to the juicy parts. Alright, here's an email from someone that worked at Carole Baskin's facility. I was a volunteer on Wildlife on Easy Street, aka Big Cat Rescue, for 3 years. I applied to be a volunteer there due to the sorrow and compassion I felt for a black leopard said to be a former Las Vegas show cat beaten with a bat and forced to jump through hoops of ring of fire. According to the founder, Carole Lewis, now Baskin, his eyes watered because of scorching from the rings of fire and his orbits were broken due to severe beatings. This leopard's name is Shaquali. His fabricated horror story is still the same on Big Cat Rescue's website. However, I came to find out the true story is a very different one. Shaquali was in fact from Nevada, but never was in Las Vegas, and never was a show cat. The USDA acquisition papers tell the truth. He belonged to a couple who had videotaped him walking him and playing with him. Keep in mind, he is not declawed or neutered. When the couple split up, Shaquali was sent to Big Cat Rescue because he was a small black leopard with claws, and he was to be bred with Carole's female black leopard, also clawed, Lola. Through put together several times, Squaw didn't know what to do. Saber was ultimately put with Lola, and the two did in fact produce cubs. There was also the time right when Squaw had a medical problem. I complained to Carole, and she told me that she did not feel it was emergent. I insisted she get it to the vet and look at him. Then she sent me an email stating that they could not get him in lockout to have him looked at, and if I thought I could do a better job, I was welcome to try. I did it, and I discovered that all of his problems were due to allergies from being moved from Nevada to Florida. This is why his eyes teared and his clawed at them at times. Not because he was forced to jump through hoops of fire, as Carole claims to this day. I myself gave him prescribed prednisone for his allergies and his health improved. I would like to say that I do not own cats myself, and I have only one issue with Carole Lewis Baskin, and that is the lies she constructs to achieve her goal of being the only facility exhibiting big cats. I believe her push for legislation only serves to help her achieve this goal and is not about helping the animals. Carole has rescued very few animals, 2 cougars that Judy located for her so Jack Hanna could film one of the rescues for publicity. Cougar cubs that every facility in the U.S. wanted, again for publicity. And most recent, 4 tigers from a facility that was closing, again accompanied by a TV crew, so she could save face and say she had actually been rescuing something. The majority of the cats at Big Cat Rescue were born at the facility or purchased as breeders to sale for Carole's wish to own the largest, most diverse collection of big cats in the world. The stories we as former volunteers can tell are never ending. There was a time Carole ordered the staff to throw live chickens in. Now, you just saw the live chicken massacre video. Here's another backup story for that. Because she was tired of cleaning their mess. The poor chickens were screaming all night as the cats mauled them. Understand, these cats did not know how to kill their prey. They just bit and played with them while the staff members watched and laughed. They did not know that the volunteers were still there feeding our route. The chickens finally died after a long night of screaming and suffering. My only hope here is to expose Carole's lies and prevent any further damage to the reputation of other exotic animal owners and some but honest sanctuaries and facilities. Carole's statistics are inaccurate and in some cases completely fabricated, giving false information to the public and our legislators who apparently do not investigate the facts before they vote. Okay. This is to confirm, to attest that the fact that I was a volunteer at Big Cat Rescue at the time that the leopard known of as Shaquali arrived at the facility. He is a beautiful and flawless leopard brought in for the purpose of being a mate for a female known as Lola. Shaquali had no physical deformities of any kind at the time of his arrival. Carole, it's catching up with you. Okay, now we're getting information in that you have been kicked off of animal advisory boards. You lost your Better Business Bureau accreditation seal. And if I have my way, you're going to lose your accreditation by the only sanctuary association in America that is accepting your money to give you that accreditation. This one here is from Brian Blair of the Board of County Commissioners. I just wanted to take a moment to thank you for all of your hard work over the past years in service of the Animal Advisory Board. However, over the past few months, I have received an abnormal amount of questions and concerns from citizens and the media regarding your eligibility of your participation on the Animal Advisory Board. I researched some of the information, although I did not find anything that would exclude you from eligibility of service of constant media contact regarding past history that involved your facility and too much for our staff to continue to handle. Please know that this is a very difficult situation I am in. I am going to have to ask you to resign from the Animal Advisory Board. Bitch, get up. Okay, they're done with you. Okay, they're tired of putting up with your bullshit. So, in a polite letter, they basically told you to fuck off. Alright? Get used to it. We hear it all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, that's Saga 4, Part 1. I need to go answer some more emails. Carole, kiss my ass.